And here I was thinking that our podcast was going to maybe be interrupted by my Father's Day gift of Leaf Guard, but they've decided to cancel for today.
Oh,
they
really?
were supposed to be here today.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah. And so they're going to come on Tuesday.
Hey, what kind of discount are you getting?
I don't know. Kind of think I should get a discount.
I agree.
I thought there'd be pounding and different things like that, and it would interrupt the podcast and create excitement about my Leaf Guard Father's Day present and stuff
Well,
like
they
that.
probably canceled because they didn't want to be part of the penalty box.
Yeah, we still haven't had anybody up yet.
Yeah, we've been lenient on that.
Yeah. I was thinking, how do you... Maybe sometime we should share how you stay encouraged, because you've been doing this a little over a year and a couple of months, and it might be an interesting podcast to talk about how you stay encouraged. I mean, I know I help you, but I mean, you have to do that regularly because you don't have a ton of work coming in. So, I mean, what are some of the things you think about typically?
Well, I mean, obviously I have you as a resource, so if something's slow or I feel like I'm, I don't know, if I feel like I'm, running out of things to do, I always come to you because there are always things I can do. And so I find that out, that I'm maybe not doing everything that I could do. So those are some things, maybe reevaluating what I'm doing, if I'm doing it the best way. And then just those thoughts are fine to have because I think it keeps you in the game. But sometimes it's just get back to working a good plan that you've talked about. I have a plan. I send out emails. I look for people. I do the work. I do auditions, stuff like that. And that's all I can do at this point until my voice, gets out there more and, maybe the market gets a little bit better or whatever. So,
yeah, you have a plan that works. And so you just keep working that plan. Not that you don't tweak, not that you don't follow the industry patterns, things that things are shifting maybe, but
I will say that I'm very fortunate, as I've said before, to have you, obviously, but then also a family that has another business that's focused around voiceover.
Yeah,
because it gets us in contact with other voiceovers. You can talk with them about what they're doing. You can see firsthand what the industry is kind of wanting, and then you've also just got a good, psychologically, you've got people that are on your side and they're there to help you. And a lot of people don't have that. And so that's, once again, why we have this podcast. Not to say that we're so important, but we understand that there are people who do voiceover that don't have this type of fortitude or just I don't know.
Support system. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That won't let you give up or whatever, that'll say, no, keep doing it. You've got a good voice, keep doing it. You'll break through here at some point where, some people might have, a family and other things. They think, well, I want to do voiceover, but I also need to support my family. So how do I, deal with that pressure? So anyway.
Yeah. And then, there are business principles that we talk about regularly that are supra industry. They're more than just the VO industry. Obviously, there are specific things, but there's father-son conversations. There's industry-specific things about voiceover and direct email marketing. But there's just some general mindsets that you have to have if you're going to run your own business. And so that's one of the reasons we, wanted to start the podcast, to share your journey, just starting out, mine going on 13 years now, and everything in between. So today,
why don't we just? Sorry, I don't.
Yeah.
Damon will get mad at us. Why don't we, before we get to your Todd's tips, let's take our break for our intro video, and then because a couple of weeks ago we got in trouble. We didn't stop the front part where we talk, and Damon was not happy with us.
Well, and he's got to crack the whip sometimes because we're the on-camera people. He's got to make us look good and clean everything up. So
yeah, all right.
Hey, this is Bill DeWees, pro voiceover talent and voiceover career coach. And this is the original Father-Son Voiceover Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the 14th episode of the original Father-Son Voiceover podcast, where father and son talk about all things voiceover and sometimes a little bit more. Today is our July 4th episode-ish. The weekend of July 4th, this will be coming out, and so we're going to have Todd's tips. I don't know if we'll have Todd's tough love, but we're also going to have BJ Ruland and his son William are coming to be some couch potatoes for our interview. William is going to be a Marine. He's leaving in August. I'll leave some of those details for our interview. And then BJ is an avid listener, watcher of the podcast. We even called him last week, which was really awesome. Mm-hmm. So he'll be on here. And then we've also got some taste testing and some 4th of July, maybe facts, fun stuff that's going to happen in our last segment. So that's what you can expect from us today in our 14th episode. So Dad's going to start off with Todd's tips.
And we're also going to have our numbers too.
Oh, we
Your
are.
numbers, my
Yes,
numbers,
we are.
and VO Marketing Pro's numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, here we've been talking about the anatomy of direct email marketing. And so I want to continue and kind of end up. And whenever you talk about something like this, there's going to be overlap and, it's going to kind of blend. And so there are 3 videos, not only part of the podcast, but also Demond and Hudson. They put out Todd's tips on the VO Marketing Pro YouTube channel and also their Facebook. And I think you kind of separate them out, don't you?
Yeah, sometimes on our YouTube page, we'll post Todd's Tough Love separately. So if you wanted to listen to that, that's a little bit of a snippet. And then we also have, that's separate from Todd's tips. Mm-hmm. Then we also have our fun segment. If you're not interested in watching the whole podcast, you can go and look at our last segment that's more our family related and just this day in history, or, a couple weeks in a row we had different states and their interesting facts about them. And this week it'll be 4th of July. So if you aren't interested in the voiceover, that's fine. We understand that. And that's why we gear that last segment a little bit more towards having some fun, because we don't want it to be all work and no play here.
Yeah, and I guess what my point was, and thank you for clarifying that. I guess my point was simply that the previous 3 anatomies of direct email marketing, those can be found. I'm not going to go over those. I'll just mention the 3 and then get into my 4th one. First week, which was 3 weeks ago, we talked about the mindsets of direct email marketing. Then we talked about a 3-pronged direct email marketing strategy. And last week, we talked about the practical direct email marketing tips. Now we're going to talk just for a few minutes about content of direct email marketing. And we could get very deep into the weeds and we could talk specifics, but that's something that if people are part of the VO Marketing Pro group, they can contact the boys, John and Joe, and get a time with me or help. They can help certainly with the content. There's a lot to think about, but there are just some basic principles that I want to highlight today. And these are things that I've done for years. We do for VO Marketing Pro. Hudson, you do every single day when you sent out your template, the content of your email. And so here it is. And again, we won't spend a lot of time. If you have comments or questions, please feel free to contact us and we'll be happy to elaborate or set up a time to talk. First thing is make it short and sweet, simple and straightforward. The 4 S's, short and sweet, simple and straightforward. Don't write a novel. Don't write the story of your life. As much as you want to get their attention and, convince them that you're the person to hire them for the voiceover job, don't write a novel. Don't tell all your accomplishments. It's just going to be wasted. A lot of them are going to be deleted. And I know what they're looking for. They're searching down and they're looking for your demo links or the links of products and projects that you've had. And so I've even gone away from, in my templates, mentioning the well-known brands that I work for.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of times, I would put who I am, how I work, and then these are some of the clients that I've worked with, just to get their attention kind of. And I'm not saying that's wrong. I just don't do it anymore. I just go right to the basically, hey, I'm Todd, I'm a full-time voiceover. I'd like to help you. This is how I work, and boom, right into here's my demos.
Do you think that's because you realize that a lot of people might not even spend the time to read that part. They don't care. You've worked with Coca-Cola or whoever. You've worked with Microsoft. So what? Does your voice sound like something I want from my script? Maybe Microsoft liked it,
right?
But I don't like it in one sense.
Right.
And the beauty is truly in the eye of the beholder, so they don't really care. Is that what you're saying?
Right, exactly. Those things can lend some measure of credibility, but the bottom line is if your demos aren't good, if you can't reproduce that Fortune 500 project, that voice, they want to know that. They want to know, is this person's voice right for my clients? It's just that type of an industry that we're looking for. So again, whenever I talk about these things, I say your business is your business and it's none of my business. These are just things that I do and the things that I've learned, and they work. So that's one thing, short and sweet, simple and straightforward. Second, after a short intro, provide links. I would suggest SoundCloud links. It's free to have a SoundCloud account. Even, a guy like me, old and technologically challenged, I set my own up and I can go there and grab the links and send them off. And, maybe something that might be called your money voice or something you're real proud of, a project, put those links in there, or a link to your SoundCloud demo. No attachments, especially with an introduction, because that looks spamish, it looks junkish, and people are afraid of attachments, and I get it. I'm afraid of attachments too. Now, if they get back with you and request a demo, an MP3 demo, a lot of times that's what they want. They want to be able to send that out to clients. They don't want to send a link. They want to send an MP3 video. Then it's fine, obviously, if they request that. Another thing is, and we're already winding down here, is to see if you can invoke a response by asking a question or something that will get them into a short conversation. You don't want to be having something where it's, hey, that, and trying to keep them on the line. They'll go, oh, this person's really needy. But sometimes, like when they ask for my rates, I'll say, well, here are my standard rates attached. Do these relate to what you would normally spend? Do they,
do they fit your budget?
Yep. Am I in the ballpark?
Like
if not, please let me know. And oftentimes I'll have them, hey, these are just right, or you might need to be a little bit flexible. Then I can get back with them. And that paints a little bit of a star by who I am and my voice, because we've had a little bit of a conversation there. It's not just a one and done. Again, I don't want it to be needy, where it's like, hey, I want to keep talking to you back and forth because I want you to give me a job or I want an audition. It's more just a conversation, a short conversation to get an asterisk, by your name or your voice. Lastly, the subject line should be catchy, but not cute, trying to trick them. The definition of catchy, instantly appealing and memorable. So have it be catchy, instantly appealing and memorable. In this day and age, I think it's best to be safe rather than sorry. Again, catchy, just have it be something that is basic, simple, and to the point. Male voiceover talent demo, or male voiceover links, or a question. Are you looking for a genuine, articulate male voiceover talent? Are you accepting demos? Todd Barsness voiceover talent. I just want them to know up front who I am and what I want. And that's important to me, and that seems to work as well. Lastly, as far as when to send direct email marketing, when I first started, I was a marketing wild man. I mean, I was just marketing. Whenever I wasn't doing a job, which wasn't very often, I wasn't doing many jobs, I was marketing. And I didn't even care about, for one thing, I didn't know any better, but I was even marketing on the weekends. I didn't care. I just didn't care. Now I try my best to have my assistant send out from Tuesday to Thursday and in the middle of the day in the US. I know you might be doing it globally and things like that, so you can't necessarily plan all of that. But it seems like Monday isn't the greatest day because somebody comes in and they got 50 emails and they're just looking to delete.
Click.
Friday, there are holidays like this weekend and such where it's easy for people to start to check out and they just want to be done. And so you might get lost in the shuffle. Tuesday through Thursday, it seems like they're trying their best to do their business. So again,
Most engaged.
yeah, again, that's not a rule. That's not a hard and fast rule. Again, when I was doing it the first few years, I didn't care. And if you said that to me, like if you contacted me and said, I don't really care, I'm just going to market, I'd say, go for it. Knock yourself out, because that's what I would do. And so either way is fine. But now that I'm more established and have a regular business and an assistant, things are a little different, and we just plan things. And so does VO Marketing Pro, by the way.
And that's one of the things that you asked me earlier before we even started was, what are some things you do to keep going, whether it's mentality or even just when things are slow, what are you doing? And I've been in it for a year and 3 months now. And that's one thing that you keep telling me is there's always marketing you could be doing. You know, when I'm slow, it's like, who cares who cares if it's Friday? Who cares? Now, obviously you want them to count, but when you're hungry for work, a hungry man doesn't care if it's, whatever it is, they're looking to eat at any cost. So in that way, I'm, looking for different production companies. I've gone to India to look for more, like you said. So just finding a way.
Yeah. And at the very least, what I would encourage people to do is if you're doing this full time and, you're finding it like, well, I don't know what to do from 7:30 in the morning until 4:30 in the afternoon. I understand you need to unplug and not when you have your own business. I tell you, you can always be thinking, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. And there's a time and a place for saying, nope, done enough. I don't have a job, but I'm still done. And I get that. But if you are up from 7:30 till 4:30 and you have that time frame, fill it up with stuff. If you don't have jobs, market. Get in front of people. Keep working it. Yep. It's your job. So do it, do your job. Nobody's going to do it for you. I guess that's maybe some tough love.
Well,
there,
and I think once again, that's obviously the glitz and glamour is sitting in your studio and doing the voiceover work and sending it off and getting paid. Well, there's a lot of dirty work you have to do that you did for years before you made, $100,000, $200,000, $300,000. And people don't see that, but that's kind of like you said, the Todd's tough love. You've got to do all of that. It's not just sitting in your cozy thing, drinking coffee. Yeah. For some people, it is, but that's because they have put in the work to get that way.
Right. So you sometimes can look at a successful person. I've done that and said, wow, I'd like to be that person, but you don't know all of the work that they've done, the toil, blood, sweat, and tears that they've done behind the scenes. So just keep plugging away, keep working hard at it. Those that are, sending out direct email marketing, don't be weary and well-doing. Just keep doing it, and those things will pay off. They always do when you keep working a plan that works.
Yeah. So once again, if you have questions about any of this, feel free to comment in our comment section. I'm going to give a little shout out to Sally Moral. Yeah. I think that's how you say it. Sally always comments on our things, and it's always nice to have.
She's taking notes on this, so I'm trying to do a good job of being a good professor, teacher. So Sandy, if you or anybody else has questions about Sally. Yeah, well, or Sandy too. Sally,
maybe if you have a sister Sally.
Sandy,
twin sisters.
Susie.
Yeah,
okay.
Anyway, thanks, Sally, for doing that. We appreciate it, and for others. So if you have comments, questions, whatever, send them there, and we'd be happy to answer them. So,
hi, this is Mallory Handford, and you're watching the original Father-Son Voiceover podcast.
Well, should we go ahead and do our numbers? John's here on the couch, so why don't we start out with...
Big John is ready to really celebrate 4th of July.
Yeah.
You had to work today.
Yeah.
You worked full day. You worked half day for your insurance company job, got up early, and then went to it for VOMP, VO Marketing Pro.
Yep, I'll go back to it.
Really? You
Yeah.
got stuff to do, huh?
Wow.
Yep, we're always trying to...
Glad he fit.
Since we're not going to be sending out here, not to get ahead of ourselves, but since we're not going to be sending out here for a bit, because as I've said many times, we don't want to waste any of VOMP's members' emails for the month. We will be holding off because it being on a Monday, 4th of July, just from like you said earlier, my insurance job, there's a lot of out of office. They're taking off today, and then some people are taking off, if not all next week, a good portion of next week. And so we don't want to send out, I think Joe, maybe he's going to send out some on Thursday. But yeah, we don't want to waste any of those or have somebody come into a pile of emails and us just be that quick delete. So we're always watching those things. But there's some other bigger things that we're working on, with VOMP and some other bigger projects that get pushed off with some other stuff. And so this is a good time when it's a little bit slower to work on it. And since we don't have anything going on, not too much to party or anything, that we're not much party animals.
Yeah. But there's an old saying, I don't know if you've heard this, VO talent work from sun to sun.
Yep.
But a VOMP's worker's work is never done. That's what they say. I know it's a man's may work from sun to sun, but a woman's work is never done.
I think it was really made for VOMP people.
It was VO VO marketing pro, because you guys are always 24/7 working, 24/7, never unplugged, always working. Yeah. So anyway, what happened this week?
So we sent out, and we had 26 warm replies, and 4 auditions, 2 jobs, and I will say that Joe's back working right now in our headquarters, if you will, and he's actually world headquarters, and he's speaking with a couple people. There was one that he's been going back and forth with, that somebody found the roster and found a few people, and so it's probably 98% sure that these 3 people will be getting it, but we didn't want to say it and spoil it. And this is watched so much, this podcast, that we didn't want to, a bunch of people writing in saying, that didn't happen, and so we'll wait till next week. But Joe was on the cusp of, I think, signing 3 people up for a job from VOMP. But the people that we did get jobs for, or that did report it this week, because there's a lot of people gone, from our group too.
Right.
So Todd Haskell got a job,
and Todd,
our usual Noelle Romano. Can almost
MVP.
put her down.
If she doesn't get one at least once a week, we're like, is Noelle okay?
Yeah, well, and she's doing great. But what I think I've said before with her, and this is great, but she's getting some recurring clients, which is just gold.
Yep.
And so some of these people are using her multiple times a month, and that's what we're looking to get. Each and every one of, just get somebody recurring, get a couple people recurring, and that's what you see with your business. And I think even Hudson maybe has gotten a few of those kind of people, and it's really nice to just not have to even do any marketing with those people. Just this ABC video production company is going to come in this week, or I've got 6 videos that I want to put together for this month, and you just can count on it. And that's what we like, getting jobs anytime, but recurring are just money.
I signed up with a guy. He called me. I think we had sent a direct email marketing email maybe 3 months ago. He called me and he said, I always have a 30-second commercial and then a 1.5-minute corporate thing. I won't tell you who it is. He's from Florida. I was a little bit leery because his budget was $100. So 1.5 minutes plus 30, it's 2 minutes. But he said the scripts are always good. We can send you a lot of work. And so I said, well, I'll try it. And I told him that. I said, we'll try it. And he's now sent me probably 13 or 14 scripts, so $1,400, and they're pretty fast and easy. Hudson does the editing for me. I do the commercial.
That's how I feel when
you up.
Yeah, wow. I'm tired.
Thinking about the editing, I'm not going to do
you've got to do it right after this. We just got another one. He said, can you get it done by the end of the day? So I just pump it out. It takes me maybe 10, 15 minutes at the most, maybe more like 10 minutes. And then Hudson probably does it in about 10 minutes, don't you? So it costs our company, I pay him $20 to do it, and our company gets $80, and it takes me, so it's $80 for 10 minutes. And my point being, that's one of those reoccurring ones that doesn't even sound like that much, but already in like 2 months, it's $1,300, and he keeps coming back.
Yep. It's great.
So Todd Haskell and Noelle and I got a job this week from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
And that's a new one, because we just report new ones, correct?
Yep. I don't talk about my recurring ones I just do so much direct email marketing work that, I have, like, just this year, I might have 10 recurring clients already coming back again. But that's how you continue to grow that direct email marketing business. So I think that's all the questions. Oh, I know we don't want to leak this out, but I do know for sure that we are moving in a good direction with our website. And
Yes.
again, we won't talk about what that is exactly, but our website is basically our voice roster.
Correct.
And we do, it's an invitation only, but if people want to be on our voice roster, they can always contact us.
Yeah.
Then we vet them with how we work, how we need them to work. Typically, we want a getting to know you time period so that we can make sure that you're comfortable with us, we're comfortable with you. Got to have pro demos or pro sounding demos. Am I forgetting anything? But we have openings on our voice
that sounds
roster,
right.
but we just vet people because we want to make sure it's a dynamite voice roster and not just another pay to play or something like that.
Yep.
And so they can just check that out at vomarketingpro.com. But our website is getting closer to coming.
That's one of the
finished
bigger
product.
projects we've been
Yeah.
working on. It's been a little bit. It's been, I think, that the vendor that the person that's building the website is working with it's just been a little bit difficult because we're doing something that he hasn't done before, but we like working with the guy that we're working with. And so it's been a little bit of a slow process, but from what I've seen in the initial showing of what it's going to look like, I think it'll be nice to have, and it'll be nice because people will be able to be able to contact and work with those people directly. With maybe not, they can contact us, but there might be more of a in between the voice talent and the actual client. So we're looking forward to that, and we're looking forward to marketing that a lot because I think that we'll have something to offer. Not such a huge roster like Voices.com or
Tens and
Voices123.
tens of thousands of,
But we have
right.
really good talent on there, we believe, and we also don't charge the client like
Right,
they
no commission.
do, no commission
Right.
on the client side of things.
Right.
And so that's a huge selling point. And we're building some relationships with some video production companies, but I think this will make it even easier and a little bit more client friendly. And I think that it'll be good. And we're looking forward to, like I said, to market that. So hopefully. We've got a kind of a tentative date here, but we're hoping that hopefully by mid-July things will be going and we'll start contacting those people on our roster to get some additional information and really hit the ground running in the middle of the summer here.
Yeah.
You want me to go?
Whatever.
Sure. This week, and like we've said before, we don't add our warm replies with VOMPs. So I had 7 warm replies this week. I had 2 auditions. And then Fiverr was pretty good to me this week. I had 4 jobs on Fiverr.
Nice.
And that totaled $216. So a little bit higher up than what I've, the regular $8, $10, $20 jobs. Didn't have anything on Upwork, no new clients. I still haven't heard anything back from those people that had those 10 things. So maybe I didn't win it, but maybe they just are still choosing or
Sometimes it
whatever.
takes time.
It's close to the holiday, so maybe they just thought, well, whatever. So then I did some editing for you this week for a total of $346 because I didn't add the $20 for the job I'll do after this. So better than 0.
Good. My week was, I had one new client, as I mentioned. I had 4 warm responses that I can remember, and 3 were from Germany, and 1 was from Switzerland. And the reason that is because my assistant, Andy, who digs for new video production companies, he's using a new keywords sound company. He got a tip from a French video production company. He said, you should try Sound Company because that's how a lot of video production companies and audio production companies pitch themselves or call themselves in Europe. And so 3 from Germany, 1 from Switzerland. And by the way, when Andy, those aren't just for me. We send them out, make sure they go well, and then those get put into the VO Marketing Pro global database.
Yep.
So Andy is working all of the time getting new contacts so that we're always getting those. And then, of course, we're making that a live database, and any things that are sent back or kickbacks,
undeliverable, unsubscribed.
Those things are taken care of. So if anybody ever, wants to sign up for VO Marketing Pro, we have a live database that's up to date, and we're always getting new ones in.
Correct.
And so that's what's happening with Andy.
That's actually one of the projects that we always work at the end of the month. Andy, your assistant, sends us all the additions, so people he's found or video production companies, and then any changes. So lots of times what we'll see with video production companies, they can have some high turnover too. So the contact person, if Andrea at ABC company was the person that we found originally, it might be Todd at ABC company now. And so that email that we sent out on behalf of somebody, we keep it up to date each month, obviously. And so, but that email address might not have been sent to that month. And so all of a sudden, Andrea is no longer with ABC company and Todd is. So he then goes back to that individual website and finds the new contact person. So those undeliverables don't necessarily mean that company's lost. It just means that we need to go find a new contact. So that's what Andy's constantly doing for you, and then it adds to our group. And so that's one of the bigger projects that takes us a few hours to go through the database and to take out all those and add all those each end of the month.
So it's a very updated, up to date list, so that the people aren't like some of these lists we hear about in the voiceover world. They buy it and there's so many undeliverables, and it's like, well, this person hasn't been there since 2014. It's like so that's not the case with ours. Ours is within the month.
Well, yeah, and we on the spot, when we send out for somebody and an undeliverable comes, or we do have an unsubscribe because we want to make it legitimate and let people choose what they want to do with the emails. We get those out of there right away, even that day, usually out of that database. And then that at the end of the month is when we do all the additions and subtractions and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's very up to date, and we do that because we want to make sure that a big thing to keep a legitimate email address. We're going to have to face it, that with any sort of email marketing, there probably are some that are going to spam. But if you don't just buy a list, and if you don't keep it clean, it's going to go to spam a lot more. And so that's what our goal is to make it as the best possibility that our emails are going to the inbox and not to spam, and not to, not getting in some sort of kickback or something like that. And so that's why we keep it as clean as possible, so that the email address that we have for you in your VO Marketing Pro email address is as clean as possible.
So that's quite the perk to have.
Yes,
because what we just talked about.
Takes a ton
not
of
only
work
do you have a
for
team,
you guys,
not only do you have a team that's working hard for you, just getting you in front of people, stuff like that. You're getting them in front of actual live leads. Yeah.
When you initially look for emails for video production companies, if you want to make sure that it's a legitimate video production company, that they do voiceover, it might take you 15 to 20 minutes per email. So if we're sending you, I'm not great with math off the top of my head, but if you're sending out 50 emails a month, VO Marketing Pro, because we have over 17,000 email addresses all over the world, we're saving 20 times 15 in minutes, basically 15 or 20. And that's
your time is worth something. That's for sure. You'd have to do all of that work yourself. And that's what we save people for. And one of the things Andy's doing is we talk, and he's always stretching the limits of, like, now he's in Germany, he's going to Switzerland. He's finding new places to find, video production companies or sound companies that are using United States or English voiceover talent. And then he's also goes back through the United States and such, because there's new companies coming and going all the time. And so we're always looking for new companies in the United States and Canada and Britain and everything. So let me give you my numbers. So I had four warm responses, 3 from Germany, 1 from Switzerland, 1 new job. The platforms were up. Fiverr's doing a little better for me this week, $2,556.40 for platforms. Direct email marketing, $5,441.94. I didn't add. Sorry about that. I didn't add that that job I just got, so I really have over $8,000 this week.
Wow.
So, but this is my total without that 100, $7,998.34. $7,998.34 for my voiceover this week. Next week, I'm expecting, I'm working 4 days. I'm not going to work on Monday, hopefully, although I have global clients and they don't celebrate the 4th of July. Mm-hmm. So I might be working for a company in India or Germany or whatever. But I would expect it to be slower for the week, just like you talked about with VO Marketing Pro. I'm expecting that. I'm expecting a lower week next week. I just plan on it. I've just been in it long enough. I'll just have a lower week next week.
Yep.
All right.
There you have it.
There you have it. Those are our numbers this week. And next up, we have our interview with William and BJ. So join us for that next.
Hey, how you doing? This is Todd, and that's Hudson, and we're so grateful that you are joining us for the original Father-Son Voiceover podcast. Before we get back to the podcast, I just wanted to take a moment to talk to you about another company, a company that I helped start along with Hudson and my 5 other adult sons. It's called VO Marketing Pro, or VOMP. And what VO Marketing Pro does is really, it's a direct email marketing assistant for you, a voiceover talent. So if you want to check it out, you can check out the links below, and there's lots of information about VOMP or VO Marketing Pro there. We'll get back to more of the original Father-Son Voiceover podcast right after this.
Hello and welcome back to the original Father-Son Voiceover podcast. Dad's here, I'm here. We've got 2 special guests here today. We've got BJ Ruland and his son, William Ruland. So today we're going to have them as our interview. It's kind of our 4th of July special, as it were. William's going to be a Marine, or maybe he already is one. I don't know how you say that. Okay, he's going to be a Marine. And then BJ is
not going to be a Marine.
Not going to be a Marine. But he's here, and he's our mechanic. He helps out with the baseball team. So we'll get more into that right now. So,
well, I was thinking, BJ, as we prepared, I've known your family from before you were born even. Because your dad, now, okay, so let me get this straight. Your dad's name is William John, and you're BJ, so you're William John
J.
Oh, J. You're William J.
Correct. Yeah.
So you're not the second.
There's not a second or a third.
And then you're
Joseph.
William
really?
Joseph. Okay, I always thought I thought you were a trifecta. I thought you were the 3.
Yeah,
you
3.
know.
No, it was.
So you're just J-A-Y? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay.
So most people don't even know that.
So it's Willie's Repair, and
Correct.
And your dad did my dad's repairs. When I was a really little kid, we used to go to Bollig's, and he was a mechanic there along with Ronnie Schlick.
Yep.
And then he broke off or it closed down or something, and he had a shop right downtown in the residential area.
On John Street.
On John Street in Mazomanie. Yep. And you were probably in high school then, right? Or were you in college then? Or
he opened the shop in 83.
Okay.
So I was 9 years old.
Yeah.
So right over here, he opened the shop.
And then
or
the new shop that's right near here is 88, 87, 88.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, their shop, BJ and Willie's shop, is 3 stone's throws away. Mm-hmm. Not with my arm, with your arm or William's arm.
Maybe 1 throw with Huddy's arm.
Yeah, maybe. So anyway, we've known you guys for a long time, and BJ's our mechanic, and we're very happy to have him because we know nothing about vehicles.
We know so little that I put 60 psi.
It might have been a little.
It might have been more than 60 psi in all of my tires, so I was almost floating. That's one I don't ever live down.
To try and get better gas mileage, but it didn't work too well.
I'm so thankful that I didn't have the rim punch me in the chest because it could have been. I just kept filling them up. I just kept going. Like I would put the thing. I thought it's broken. It's not working.
Did you have the symbol or the tire pressure light on your?
It's always on right now.
Yeah.
Even
this
if
was
it's
before then too.
But I put air in there and I'd put the gauge on there and it just wouldn't work. I thought, there's no way there's that much in there. So I just keep putting it in there. And I was riding really rough, so I thought I was riding on the rims. Well, turns out I was floating on air basically, just just lots of
It's
air.
one of the more enjoyable stories I pass along to other people.
And I deserve.
Do you put
I
a name
deserve-
on it too
yeah.
or not?
I usually leave the
I
name out,
appreciate
but
that.
now
Keep it
the world
anonymous.
knows. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, having a good doctor is important to good dentist, and people can smell me, whether I'm looking for a new car or trying to get my car fixed. They can smell me a mile away because I don't know anything about cars. So it's nice to have Willie's dad, BJ, and you did mechanical stuff too. I mean, you worked for your dad. You went to Madison Area Technical College and did that before you, or
before I decided to join.
Yeah.
I never completed. I literally completed every single class except for the very last one, and I dropped out.
Yeah. So I do have a question.
with that.
I do have a question related to your mechanical stuff and the Marines, but I'll save that for just a second. Just a little bit more about how we know these guys. BJ was our two youngest, Damon and Deshaun, are right around your age. Is Damon a year
Damon's
older?
a year older. Deshaun's a year younger.
Deshaun's a year younger. So
Right in
you're
the middle.
sandwiched in between there, the old Oreo.
So I've played a bunch of years because Damon in high school then, and Deshaun in high school with me. And then Little League, Deshaun and Damon have played with Little League, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. And BJ was the coach, and you helped out. And
I helped out
then-
one time, and then I became the coach when you guys were in high school for summer league.
For the
And then
COVID
I
year,
asked
Then I
BJ
came
to
and
come
helped.
help out. So it's been
Traded
We've
back and
traded
forth.
the role once. Yes,
Yeah.
we've traded the role.
We've
a
traded the
couple of
role, and
times now.
BJ helps out with our home talent team too. So
Yeah.
and William plays. Obviously, he's got the Mustangs
Old
hat
cat.
on, but that's how we know him.
Yep. And of course, BJ was our first. Okay, this is a bunch of firsts
Yeah,
for you.
true.
Because you were our first live phone call last week about
Phone
the
to friend.
automotive, the Lego
Yep.
trick question.
The trick question.
And you did very well on that. And that was fun. And then this week now you're our first live local interviewees. So, I mean, it's just
We're just a family of first,
unbelievable.
I guess.
Family of firsts.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's anything else we've missed. We won't tell the Apache Chevrolet truck story right now, but that connects us too.
It does.
And I hear whispers from your son that you're going to put a bigger engine in there. Is that possible?
It's possible. I have tried very hard over the last few years to blow up the engine that's in it, to have an excuse, but the motor just won't die. So I'm just still driving it.
Is that the original? Or you put
No,
in-
it's the original motor. I put in it in 1995
Okay.
when we did the restoration on it.
Got it.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
So is there anything else that we've missed of what how we're connected to BJ and William? Seems like that's quite a bit actually.
Yeah.
How our families have interacted over the years and how we continue to do so. So let's talk just a little bit about William's serving our country. It's a great time to think about that, 4th
Yeah.
of July and stuff. So has this always, I mean, I know your uncle, your youngest brother, Daniel,
He was
Was-
in the Marines. Yes.
was in the Marines and other,
the Marines, and now he currently serves for the Wisconsin National Guard.
okay.
Nice.
Okay. And so was that a little bit in your mind when you thought about joining up? Or
Yeah, just a little bit. I called him the first time I left the recruiter's office at like 7 p.m. after school one day. And I called him up and talked to him for like half an hour about it. But yeah, I also, I think it was my senior year of high school, I talked to an Army National Guard recruiter, and we actually went down there. And he offered to sign papers, and I said I'd think about it, and then I decided no at the time because I wanted to go to school. But yeah, it's just because of that, I guess.
It seems like he's always had it in the back of his head. It always kind of was there.
It's like a backup plan mostly, just because COVID right now and automotive industry is not the greatest it has been.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So you are leaving in August. Is that right, for boot camp?
Yeah, I leave in 29 days now.
Wow.
So less than a month. And you're heading where for boot
So
camp?
it's MCRD San Diego.
Okay.
Yep, and then that's where I'll be stationed for 4 years too. There being a mechanic.
That's what I was going to ask. I was going to ask if you're going to be able to use some of the, will you be doing like automotive mechanic stuff or more air?
It's for vehicles, marine vehicles called AAVs, amphibious assault vehicles,
Oh,
and they're just massive boxes of metal that carry a whole squad of Marines basically, and you just got that job doing that.
So water water
Yeah.
vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's impressive.
So, what are the chances of you being deployed overseas? Would you be going there to be a mechanic, behind the scenes, not fighting, but supporting as a support
Even
person?
if that happened, then probably yes. I'd go wherever the AAVs went, because you have stuff in the Marine Corps called MEUs, Marine Expeditionary Units, and you just go to a NATO or allied country and train there for like 6 to 12 months, and usually the AAVs always go with. So I'm guessing I will get probably 1 or 2 deployments with them, probably some Pacific island somewhere.
Cool.
That'd be nice.
That's amazing. I mean, it's just the places you can go with doing all that. And
That's one of the main reasons why I picked that job, and for that too is because of that too. Yeah.
Now, Wisconsin Heights is a small, that's our high school.
Mm-hmm.
That's a small high school, 200 kids basically. But they've had multiple people now that have, we
Just
won't
lately,
necessarily name names, but were there guys around your age that went to the Marines or the Air Force or the National
Yeah, John
Guard?
was the one that contacted me about it.
Oh, okay, John, yep.
Yep. And because I came and talked to him with the recruiter that one day after school. And then when he came back for recruiter's assistance, I did PT for him with him for like a month. And then that was cool too, yeah. Because originally I was going to go, I did talk to the Army recruiter. And then I did get papers from him again. And I told John that I needed a referral. And then he's like, oh, don't do that. Come talk to the Marine recruiter first before making a decision. And it was just like such a big difference between the two. All the Marine guys in there were just in shape, just jacked. And they all just had a laid back demeanor about them. Like I'm the coolest person in the room when I walk in with them. And the Army guys weren't really like that. They were just kind of more business. And yeah, that's what mainly attracted me to it.
I didn't know they were so aggressive in their recruiting. I mean, it definitely is recruiting because, like, they come to the high school consistently, and if you give any kind of a like, maybe I'll think about it. I mean, like Deshaun did, and they're calling us all the time, still to this day. And we went to. He was in the states. He did state high jump last year, and they had these pull-up bars for the Marines, several of them. And they were just guys were getting on there, and they were on them, like hair on it.
You give like prizes too if you do a certain amount and all that. Yeah, they remember them at the high school. I think they came every single year, at least twice, when I was in school.
They'd have like they'd have like the jungle or the rock climbing wall. They had the
they'd have. I forgot about. They'd have the rock climbing wall outside to really go for.
Yeah, I think you could like. They had, like you said, prize. You get like if you did 25 push-ups, you got a water bottle, or 50 like or something.
10 pull-ups, you get a sweatshirt or something like
so
that.
it was kind of fun to do that, but it wasn't always. We would in high. It probably wasn't smart to do this, but in high school we would write down other people's names on the pamphlets.
That's a very old trick. It's a very old trick.
And that was mean because then they probably just got hounded. But it was fun. It was kind of harmless, but we probably shouldn't have done it.
I'm sure you're going to learn a lot as you go through the process. So we'll have to have you when you come back sometime. But are there some things that you two, you, Leslie, your wife, and you have learned already that you didn't know, or having Daniel in the Marines helped kind of educate you?
Mom was pretty like peed off at me first whole week. She didn't talk to me
because you had signed up. Okay,
we didn't tell her for like I think a couple weeks too after I made the decision.
I knew a little bit before my wife did, and probably not the best secret to keep from Mom, but I wanted to make sure that William was trying to make a decision, so I didn't want to.
It was because
I didn't want to have anybody else
my
influence. And he had an eye injury in high school.
Yeah, I remember that.
The retina surgery.
And we had to make sure.
I didn't have a good chance of actually they didn't think I had a good chance of actually getting accepted in to any branch just because of it. But that's why we mainly were hiding it, because if you didn't, then you just wouldn't say anything.
Compared to when my brother went in, it seems like not much has changed.
Really?
It's kind of interesting listening to the recruiters now and listening to the recruiter that spoke with my brother almost 20 years ago. There's a lot of similarities, but it's this time it's a little more it's the dad thing instead of a brother thing.
I was just going to ask that. Yeah.
As it's coming up closer, it's starting to hit me a little bit more that this is where he's off and going to have a different chapter in his life. And you just kind of hope that you've steered the ship correctly to this point and then let him take over. So it's a little nerve-wracking there.
Yeah. I was just thinking about that being the oldest brother, and that's your baby brother, and then him taking off and all the stuff that goes on with being the oldest and then the youngest, the relationship there. And now it's your son, which is a whole totally different dynamic. I mean,
and we went out, my other brother and I went out to see Danny's graduation when he was done with boot camp. So we plan to do that for William as a family, go out there and see his graduation. So that's going to be interesting to see too, just to see if anything has changed. But I'm sure it has, but I think this time it'll be a little more emotional going out there. Last time it was more of me and my brother went and had a good time in San Diego and then dragged ourselves to the graduation and then
attaboy, Danny.
and then left the ceremony with Danny and went out and saw the town again and then flew home and he was around for a few days and then back.
That was a lot different back then. I guess the only thing that has, when I asked my recruiter, that has changed is that they're not supposed to hit you anymore in recruit training, but it's gonna be different for when Danny went, because pretty much every single person that went through boot camp deployed to Iraq or Afghanistan.
Oh, wow.
Like almost everybody did. Yeah. And he did 4 or 5 times in total?
His total overseas, I believe, was 5 tours.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long is a tour? Was it like 6,
his
10
were
months?
it was about 10 months, 12 months. He did a couple with the Marines, if my memory serves, and then he did some contracting, and then he did with the National Guard. So those were nerve-wracking too. I bet those were different times to sit there and wonder what the phone calls were going to be if there was one.
Yeah. Do you find yourself watching the news differently right now, both of you, or not?
Not really.
Okay.
I try and stay away from watching the news because it's just too stressful.
Yeah.
Just pay attention to everything local and have fun around town.
Yeah.
And it's baseball season. You can't pay attention to anything else right now.
True.
Just baseball.
Yeah.
I've got to make sure that pencil is sharp so those hits are recorded correctly so that we can make sure everybody gets the proper batting average. Right, Hudson?
I hear you.
It's
important.
And William is probably starting tonight against Casanova.
Casanova as
our
Brett.
Casanova.
Remember?
Yes.
That's all right. It's not easy, but Casanova.
Yeah.
And
you got a home talent baseball game tonight. You guys are going to be playing. You're going to be writing in all the stats and stuff. And William's going to be on the mound.
Won't be home probably till 2 a.m. tonight.
Yeah.
And then we have to turn around and do it tomorrow too.
Yeah.
Full we'll have weekend. To be good boys tonight.
So, quick question about, will you be trained at all in the combat side of things? Will you just, is boot camp the same for a guy that's going to, shoot guns and stuff as a guy that's going to shoot grease? Because you're going to have to protect yourself and maybe be a support person, right?
Because one of the big things in the Marines is every Marine is a rifleman.
Okay.
So every MOS goes through recruit training for the 13 weeks.
Okay.
Infantry, after that, you have to do 10-day leave. They go 8 weeks to combat infantry school. All other MOSs go for only 4 weeks. So I'd be going to 4 weeks to that. And I haven't really asked what that entails, but I mean, you can kind of get the combat infantry. And then after that, I think it's 70 days of my MOS school, I believe. And that's actually learning then your MOS and how to work on the vehicles and training and all that type of stuff.
Are you an adventuresome type guy? Do you like adventures? I mean, young men usually are fairly, willing to take on challenges and stuff. But some people are just temperamentally a little bit less.
That honestly was one of the reasons why I picked the Marines too, is because they are the hardest branch. They have the longest training, the hardest training. It's I want to do that. I mean, and they're the only one, or I guess I've been doing PT for 2 times a week, 3 times a week for the last 4 or 5 months now. And it's just been awesome with my recruiter to do that. And
what's PT? Just personal training?
Or physical training.
Physical training, okay.
And then, seeing the transformation even, because with the first time, I think I went in January or February. like 5-6 months ago, I was only able to do 2 pull-ups and like a 40-second plank. Now I could do 15. And then
You can do 15 pull-ups?
Yeah, and a 4-minute plank. I think I got I got second in the pulley function a couple weeks ago for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
Yeah, you look different in your uniform this summer. You do. I mean, you do.
Yeah,
how much weight have you dropped? And you've strengthened up
a little over 20 pounds.
Yeah.
Wow.
Total.
Good
Yeah,
for you.
I remember
Definitely.
Jeff. He asked me, told me that too. Like the first game we had was he asked if I lost weight, and it's like, yeah. It's been
and
crazy.
you've gained some muscle. I can tell too.
Yeah.
Good for you. Well,
He said, Will told me the other day, he said, don't worry, I'll be back in 4 years and I'll be jacked.
Yeah, I'll be yoked coming back.
He'll be hitting 4
years,
for us.
yeah.
He'll be the 4 hitter. Good old Willie
So
Ruland.
yeah, when you're in the fleet too, it's you wake up at what 4:30 or 5:30, and it's PT every morning. That's the same too.
yeah.
And then they give you time in the afternoon for lunch, like an hour or two to go to the weight room even more and all that type of stuff. So yeah.
That's the real reason why you went to the Marines, was to get jacked for hometown, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what I
four-year
thought.
It's like my overseas contract for 4 years.
He's actually going down to where is it that they is not Cuba, but who are the Cubans are really good at
Venezuela.
baseball. Venezuela.
Yeah.
He's going to
Venezuela.
Venezuela. He's going to the Marines, but he's
Suddenly he'll show up on TV. They'll be recruited, right?
Well, I don't have any other questions, but maybe there was something as we talked about having you guys on here that you thought, I wouldn't mind saying this, or here's something that I found interesting. Is there anything that comes to mind, or?
Mainly that, I mean, I kind of stumbled into your guys' podcast and YouTube channel just from Facebook. And I was talking to Hudson about how relatable the things you guys talk about go to other businesses, your family business, talking about accounts receivable, talking about customers, talking about trying to stay focused. So it's interesting from that just to watch and see how other people have to run their business or do run their business. And I didn't know anything about voiceover.
Yeah.
So it's been interesting to learn what you guys actually do. I didn't know there was that much into it. I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah. Yeah, that is interesting that it's a separate industry, but yet there are lots of principles. Anytime you own a business, a small business, you're a small business owner. I'm a small business owner. Hudson's a small business owner.
very small business
But
owner.
But yeah, there's a lot of crossover.
Yeah.
A lot of things that you can relate to and maybe learn something when you watch. So and then the tips, I've had to turn the channel off once in a while. Let the kids didn't want Willie.
Oh, yes. The tough love. It's so hard. It's harsh. There's no doubt about it.
It's pretty brutal. I didn't want anybody getting hurt feelings.
Yeah. You want to? We've got about 6 or 7 minutes here. You want to just?
If they don't mind, if they've got some, a couple more minutes.
So here's what we're gonna do. This is just a little. Have you ever seen these on the internet? This has nothing to do with the Marines. It has nothing to do with baseball. But there's these would you rather
Would
things.
you rather?
Have you ever seen those?
I have, yeah.
Okay, well, we'll put you on the spot, and it doesn't matter if we answer it if we're funny or not. But here's one, and anybody can answer whatever. Would you rather eat fast food every day or never eat in a restaurant again?
Never eat in a restaurant again.
That's what you would?
Yep.
Because that means you could still eat fast food.
So you'd eat fast food every day?
No, I wouldn't. I would not eat in a restaurant.
Do you know what I'm
again.
saying? Because you could still eat fast food. You just can't eat it in the restaurant. Does that make sense?
Oh.
So
I think I'd have to skip the fast food. I'd want to be able to eat in a restaurant. So
Okay.
definitely. I definitely need to skip the fast food.
Oh, so I didn't get it. I mean, skip fast. I wouldn't eat fast food. Sorry. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Isn't it? You'd have to eat fast
Would you
food every
rather
day.
eat fast food every day? That's your choice. You have to eat fast food
Yeah.
every day, or you never ever get to eat in a restaurant.
Okay,
So
then.
it's kind of the opposite. You either have to
Opposite. So
choose. I have
would-
to eat fast food every day, or I'll never get to eat out. If you
It's
will,
a tough one.
That's a tough one. I guess I could have fast food every day. You can portion control. You can portion control.
I couldn't do that.
I'm just going to get a quarter order of fries, please.
Yeah.
McDonald's has salads.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm having a salad at McDonald's.
Yeah,
I'm
you have to
being
go every
honest.
day, and then you see
3
the dollar
McChickens
menu,
and
and
a-
it's like,
Yep, large fry and a
and they got those new like
defibrillator.
Sprite sundaes.
Yeah.
Or ices.
Yeah.
What was that one? What was that one documentary?
Supersize Me.
Supersize Me. Did you guys ever watch
We
that?
watched
No,
that
I
in high
haven't.
school actually, and it was disgusting.
Yeah, disgusting
Well,
is
Didn't
is
change
right.
my mind. I still eat it.
Yeah.
It's not that much.
He made a
Oh,
second-
every day? Wasn't it every day, every meal?
Every meal.
He
yeah.
made a second one too.
did he?
Recently, yeah. Where,
Okay.
Because I remember the first one, yeah, what he had to supersize when they had that back then, everything.
I've always wanted to do
Oh.
that.
And I remember the first meal he had, he puked it all up, and then I remember they showed that, and I was like,
Yeah, he was having
disgusting.
ridiculous size
Yeah.
portions too. It wasn't
Yeah.
just. Anyway,
Well, can you get supersized anymore? Do you have to
I
ask
don't
for it, or
think-
will
I
they
know.
not
I
even
I
let
haven't been
you?
to McDonald's in a
Okay.
long time.
Okay. What's your favorite if you had a choice, fast food now, not a kind of
My
a
choice of favorite fast food
Yeah,
would
yeah,
have to be chicken wings.
chicken wings.
Yeah.
Where though? Where would you go?
From any well,
Like a bar or
from the
a
bar,
restaurant?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
The-
that's
they
a
all
good
seem
choice.
to have the same ones.
Yeah.
And the flavors.
You like the in bone?
I can either.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay.
I don't get too worried about whether it's bone in or not.
Okay. How about you?
Probably Culver's.
Culver's.
Yeah,
there you go.
there
Yeah,
you go.
yeah. Culver's.
Yeah. That's a famous meeting place for the Mustangs after a win. We
Yep.
go to Culver's. That's
How about 5 more minutes? We got time for one more, and then
right.
we'll let you guys go.
Fire away.
So, would you rather live with 500 spiders in your house or 5 in your bed? Would you rather live with 500 spiders in your house or 5 in your bed?
I think-
William, you answer
I think
first.
5 in your bed.
You'd rather live with
Yeah.
5 in your bed. Why? Why would that be?
I feel like you can, I don't know, protect yourself somehow against
Okay.
them, or just like throw a blanket just tight over you and go to bed and just forget about it. But like,
Do you have to sleep in your bed though? Because if they're in your bed, I'm sleeping on the floor.
Yeah.
If they're in your house,
I think
they're
that means you
everywhere.
have to sleep
500 is
in
a
it, yeah.
lot here. You got to imagine too them like reproducing more spiders from 500.
I never thought about that.
That's a
That's
good
at least
choice.
thousands of more a month. Then
Are
How
you?
Go ahead.
Are you more afraid of spiders or snakes?
Neither.
spiders.
I'm not
I
too
think,
worried
are,
about. I would say probably snakes if I had to take a pick.
Okay.
But they usually don't worry me at all.
Spiders.
When you see them.
Anything with 8 eyes and 8 legs. I just can't.
Because in Wisconsin, there's no poisonous snakes, right?
There's rattlesnakes.
Rattlesnakes.
There is?
Rarely, but they're not very common.
Supposedly. I've never seen them.
Well, I think
before.
that would determine too. I mean, if you're thinking of poisonous spiders, tarantulas or something like that, but I think these are just your garden variety, just non-really hurt type spiders. But you what did you say you would rather do?
I'll take the 500 spiders.
Yeah,
why not?
during kind of during
Just
the
let 'em-
day.
yeah, just let them
you
hang
can-
out.
Yeah.
Maybe train them, have your own little marching army, and then have them go off out back and
You
take
would
on
be
the
able to
ants.
make that happen.
Let's
With
get,
anybody.
them fighting the
Doesn't-
ants or something.
Doesn't what's the Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Don't they have lots of?
They
don't
sure
they
do.
have like spider type things? Have
Big-
you guys
big
watch those?
spiders.
I've never seen the Harry Potter series
Okay.
of
I don't
movies.
remember. From
Yeah,
I don't
several
remember.
of
I
the
don't know.
movies
Lord
have
of the Rings,
spiders
yeah.
or something.
I think the first
yeah, Lord of
movie,
the
I
Rings.
think it was. Oh no, that was a snake in the end. That I think they fought. Not
Yeah.
a spider. I
Yeah.
don't remember.
How about you, Hudson? 500 in your
I'm
house
saying
or
5 in
your
my bed
Okay.
because if I cannot sleep, I don't like spiders. I don't mind snakes. I don't like spiders.
I don't mind spiders. They're
I'm with
just-
BJ. I don't
it's
like
just they don't
I don't
really
like spiders, but I
bother
don't
me.
want them in my bed with me. I mean,
yeah, I
I'd
don't want
rather
them in-
dance around them.
Yeah, I'd rather
in
have
the
That
those
is
house.
the one
all
spot that
lined
they're
up. Yeah,
not.
there's just-
Yeah.
you're not allowed there. Get
Yeah,
off
exactly.
the bed. It's like
Yeah,
the dog.
exactly.
Stay off the bed, dog.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for coming on. We
Thank you.
appreciate
Oh,
it, and
thanks for having
hopefully
us.
we'll be able to have BJ on again. Maybe if Will's home, he'll spend his leave with us.
Yeah, 10-day leave.
10-day leave.
in November, I think.
Yeah, it should be sometime around then.
That'll be your first thought as you get off the plane, or you'll
Can't
say,
wait to
"I
go."
can't wait to get on the original father-son voiceover."
for this.
That'll be the first thing I message him when I get access to my phone. Is like, when are we scheduling the podcast?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it'll be where's the steak dinner I can get.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah,
want a
yeah.
ribeye.
Yeah,
I think that's
exactly.
honestly like that's one of the one things where I'm like going, I'm not really like that nervous yet. I don't think I'm going to be that nervous about the yelling or the physical stuff just because I've had to go through that the past couple months. They brought the drill instructors
Yeah.
one weekend and that was fun, but like the food's going to suck.
Oh, is it?
Like
Okay.
really.
Uh,
And like, yeah, you got to eat all of it or you get screamed at and
Oh,
all that. And
yeah.
Yeah.
I think Clay said that like for the first week or something, that's basically all they do is scream at you during lunch and supper. And
Army's a lot different from
Oh, it is?
Marines because
Okay.
Marines, you don't meet your drill instructors until Friday. So you got
Okay.
almost a full week before meeting them.
got it.
The Army, it's right off. You get off the bus and you meet them. It's your sergeant.
I don't mean to cut you off. We've got a little time limit on these things. If you guys want to stay around and talk more, that's fine. But we just have to pause
That's
this
cool.
here. So,
No problem.
Thank you very much, you guys.
No, thank you,
Appreciate
guys.
it.
all right.
Hey, this is Mike Praviti, and you're watching the original father-son voiceover podcast.
Hello and welcome back to the original father-son voiceover podcast. We've got a host of people here today. Mom's here. Drew's here. Dad's right there. John is over here next to me, and I'm a couch potato, and something just fell off the wall. Today, Dad's got us doing something fun, and he's going to explain the rules and how it works. If he doesn't...
All right, we got a low budget operation here. So, okay, so since it's 4th of July, we're going to have a little fun here with 4th of July facts and stuff that Drew is bringing. But what you can see here is we have 5 different Coke products. These are all Coca-Cola products, and they're all different. Now, I've taken the labels off, given them a number, and so I'm going to serve you one of each. You're going to taste it, and then you're going to try to determine whether it is one of these. You can't see these, but yeah, actually, Damon can put these up.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like to do this. Can you all see that?
Yep.
Okay. There's zero sugar, diet, original flavor, cherry, and Starlight. Have you all heard
I've
of
never
those?
heard of Starlight.
Never heard of
Not
Starlight.
Is that a new one or an old one?
I don't know.
Okay.
Coke Zero
I-
Sugar and Diet Coke. That's not real pop. So I don't.
Yeah,
I
those are our
generally,
opinions.
I generally don't drink that. Kind of stuff.
I got them at our local Dollar General, and so those were the 5 that they had. I think there are more. Like there's vanilla, I think, and stuff like
Vanilla
that.
cherry.
Oh, is there? Okay.
Diet caffeine free.
Oh,
I could go on forever,
yeah.
All of these, of which John has probably tried.
probably.
So what I've done is I've switched. I've not only taken the labels off, but I've switched the caps because that can be a little bit of a
a giveaway.
yep. And I figured Drew would maybe be the guy that.
I think
John knows
I was
caps
looking at
too.
them too.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So what we're gonna do is this is
I see
number
the ring
1.
underneath it. Yeah.
And I'm going to taste it with you, even though I can't honestly remember.
Oh wow, generous portion.
Copious. We're gonna be.
Yeah, you're going to have to drink it all, I guess.
Oh,
We'll be
okay.
slow on the base paths tonight.
Perfect.
Maybe throw a defibrillator
Oh,
in there with
boy.
it.
I'm not sure what this is.
It's good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Everybody go ahead and drink, and then write down which one you think it is.
Just wafting right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let me finish that up.
All right. Try to cleanse your palate.
I got trouble.
Here you go.
You've only had one.
I just sipped it.
Whoops, smacking stuff. That's weird.
I'm not good at drinking pop fast. Okay, so here's number 2.
I will say I don't like that. That's all I'm going to say.
I'll get you a little less this time. Tell me if you need more.
Perfect.
Thank you.
This is number 2.
Okay.
Look at the difference in how much I poured.
Yeah.
All right, let me taste.
Oh, that's tough.
Especially after you had the first one.
Yeah. All taste the same.
Got it written down?
Yeah.
I'm already full.
Whoops, I spelled.
Here's number 3.
It's. Oh, sorry. I was still
That's good.
picking
Thanks.
my nose. Thanks. I can smell that right off the bat.
I know what that one is.
I like that. That's got a nice aftertaste to it too.
All right. Is that the easiest one so far? Or?
I think so. This one looks different. The color of it looks different than all of them, which is, I think, going to give it away.
Okay. Number 4.
Look at the bottom.
Oh, is there a thing on
There
that?
was a tag on the bottom.
You're not supposed to be cheating.
You poured it and I saw it. I didn't know what it was.
Oh, this almost tastes like somebody's got a little popcorn in there.
I actually don't mind that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like a little, almost like the caramel popcorn.
It does have a little caramely taste. Maybe that's mixing with something, but it's...
Stars.
And here's the last
stars,
one.
right?
Careful.
Stars and stripes.
Stars
Stars
rise
and
forever,
stripes.
baby. We could go on forever, baby.
Hudson?
Grazie.
It's the 5th
That's
time
the
now. You
5th
should be
time.
able to
You
remember
weren't
what
ready.
you're supposed to do.
I'm just almost falling asleep over here on this couch.
Trouble.
That's throwing me off.
Me too.
I don't know. I have all 5 correct. I know that for sure.
Okay,
The first 2 were difficult for me.
you have
Well-
the...
Because I think of...
All right, let's go around and
That's what I saw.
Drew, you can start yours first. What do you think was
That
first?
first one's diet.
Becky,
Diet.
everybody?
I had diet as well.
Diet is correct.
Yes.
Diet is correct for number 1.
Okay, that
Number
makes me
2
feel really good.
is... I need my glasses.
Let me help you. It's 0 sugar.
Yeah,
Coke Zero.
that's what I had.
picked.
Oh, 0 sugar I had too.
Yeah.
No.
Number 2 is 0.
What did you think it was, Mom?
Oh,
Coke 0.
Regular?
That was the original.
Oh no!
Oh, trouble. That one tasted more like the diet.
0 calorie. That doesn't
tough.
taste as bad as
No,
I
I
thought
don't
it
think
would.
so.
No,
It might have been just because
You
I had the
drink
diet
that?
in there.
I'll drink it from time to time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can see
Number
that.
3, John, what's the guess?
Number 3, I did the original.
That's cherry.
That's cherry
Cherry.
Coke.
Cherry.
I thought that was the easiest.
Oh,
Sorry,
tough.
John.
That's right.
Sorry.
John's an avid Coke drinker too.
Hudson, the
So,
4th
seriously.
one you saw, and that
No,
was a
yeah.
different color. You can see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Is the Starlight?
Starlight.
Yeah.
Is the,
Yeah, I
is
got
the
that one right.
Starlight?
Can they see that? You think?
Ouch! I went 3 for 2,
See the
3 for
difference?
5.
Oh for 2 for.
Two
One's
for over.
black and one is kind of cherry looking.
Question for you:
Strawberry.
Is
Yeah.
the Starlight? Was that supposed to be a? Excuse me. Was that supposed to be a 4th of July themed Coke?
I don't know.
Is
I
the
bought
Starlight?
these 4 weeks ago, so I don't know.
Oh, so I guess probably not then.
Maybe.
Okay.
I thought
And,
there was a little bit like Sprite in there.
Man, clean sweet
The last one
bonus
is the
over
original,
here.
right?
Yeah, that one I knew
I
for
was
sure
gonna
was the
switch
original,
it, but
but
I-
Drew got them all right.
3 for 5.
John was 3 for 5. You got them all right.
I had all of them. Yeah.
and you were
3
3 for 5.
with
Which ones did
John.
you get wrong?
I got the original.
0 and original.
Well, I think that the diet kind of ripped me off at first because then I was thinking that the next
Let's
one
blame
was
it on
pretty
the. Let's
sweet.
blame it on
But
the
then when I
drink.
got to the 5th one, I thought that's the original one. But I blew it.
So Drew and Hudson were the winners, and
But now we have to have a chug off.
They have to drink the
kidding.
0 and the
Oh
0 and
no!
does
There'll be
anybody
no winners in
do
that.
you like Coke products? Do you like Coke?
I like original fine. Yeah.
Okay.
The cherry was fine too.
Which one was the original last one?
No.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
third.
that
Yep,
was. Yeah,
that's
that
right.
was-
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
And
nice.
Hudson, which do you like out of the
Which
other?
one would you like? Cherry Coke, Johnny? You liked the most.
He kind of likes the 0.
I would drink the 0.
Was
yeah.
that the first one?
No,
No,
it's diet.
it's the
Give
second
Johnny
one.
the.
Yeah,
I'll-
diet too,
No,
don't you?
no, give
No.
him the 0 because he's the loser.
Zero.
The loser.
I was
didn't
gonna
get 0,
I was gonna
though.
give him the cherry. I'll take the cherry because
And I know
Thank you.
Mom won't drink any of them
No
because
thanks.
she'll be creepy crawly with the caffeine. So there
Thank
you go.
you.
I hope that was just
was
absolutely
fun.
thrilling.
oh,
Was.
It was.
Last time we had chicken.
Oh.
This
that one's
week
good.
we had
Coke.
Coke, and so next month we should do this once a month.
We
Yeah.
should,
Have a
you're
taste
right,
test
yeah.
here. We got to try frozen pizzas. I think we should try frozen pizzas.
That's gonna be
who has the
tough.
frozen pizzas? We might have to do that blindfolded.
Yeah, I think we
True.
might have
I
to.
wouldn't mind that. Yeah.
And I think we should do. What else could we do? Pickles.
Oh, I'd have
different types of
I'd have to
pickles?
sit out for that. I'm not a pickle guy at
Okay.
all. That's fine. You can do it.
Like different brands of pickles you're talking
Either
about?
that, we could do like a dill, garlic dill pickle, and there's, you can go
Bread and butter.
Well, you could do different types and try to, or you could do just, I don't know, could guess Vlasic and
Yeah, I mean, can't
Del
hurt.
Monte and stuff like that.
Or like you could do candy bars.
Yeah.
That would also have to be blindfolded. You
Why
could take
don't-
like a little chunk of something, then put a toothpick in it.
Okay.
Got all
We
that
could do
figured out
different.
already.
We could do different types of chips. You could do also. I mean, just so many things.
Our hundreds of viewers, just tell us what you'd like us to.
Yeah. What would you like
Taste
our
test.
next taste test to be?
Yep. How about that?
There it
I
is.
like it.
It could be different kinds of fish. It could be a fish sandwich from Culver's. It could be
No.
lutefisk
Ooh,
from
that
the
would-
Norwegian
that would be ludicrous.
ethnicity.
Oh.
Could be trout. Could be all sorts of stuff. So there you have it.
There's our taste
There's
test.
the Coke taste test.
And we will be right back with our 4th of July fun facts. Well, welcome back to the 14th episode here. It is 4th of July weekend, and Drew has got some 4th of July fun facts. And don't you all, isn't it also for July 1st? Isn't that the day in history? Is that what you had? Well, tell us what you had. How about?
Okay. Yeah, I had some 4th of July fun facts, really fun facts. And then from there, we will talk some this day
In history.
in history, just a few this day in history. And then famous birthday or 2 or 3.
Okay.
And then famous death
Oh,
on this date.
getting dark.
And then fun holidays. Those are always really, really fun. So
You-
it's 4th of July coming up here. Monday, July 4th will be 4th of July.
You guys got some home talent baseball games coming up.
True.
One Saturday and one
Monday.
on Monday on the 4th.
Yep.
And I think I've asked this before, but does the fireworks, they aren't always on 4th of July, right? I mean, as far
The
as,
festivities.
I think they maybe are.
but they are this year. Are they in Mazomania? We have big fireworks in Mazomania.
The biggest, yeah.
They used to always be down at the Mazo Lions Club Park where you guys play baseball down there. And I remember as a kid, when we lived out in the country, you'd always come into the park. It was a big event, and they have great fireworks. Mazo has great fireworks. I mean, we've got Madison, which is about 20 miles east of here, and they have something. I think they used to. I don't know if they still do. Have Rhythm and Booms. That's a huge, big show with music and everything. Mm-hmm. And Sauk City, Sauk Prairie,
Fire on the water,
right on the Wisconsin River.
Yep. Those are pretty good.
But
Home
for,
of the original Culvers.
yeah, we always have to say that, don't we? But Mazo has a great fireworks. A lot of people come, and they used to always do it down by the in the Mazo Lions Club Park, and I remember always wishing that I could live down there by the park. My cousin lived right across from the park, and so one time we got to camp out. He put up a tent, and we
Pitched a
slept
tent.
out there, and we were able to watch it in full view. I mean, it would come right. You could see them lighting it off just 100 yards away. You could see the guys lighting it off, and so that was always a big thrill for me. The 4th of July was a huge
Jealous.
celebration.
You were so jealous of your cousin Chris.
Chris, yep. And now they have it up on the bluff,
Yep.
which is just off to the east of us. And I don't know, it's dry this year, so I don't know if we're going to have trouble with that. If they're
Yeah, I
gonna
think Smokey probably would say that this is a very
Smokey
high,
DeBale.
very high chance of fire. So you got to be careful.
Smokey hasn't been around as long as 4th of July, though, so.
Yep, that's probably true.
Yeah,
So-
probably is. I'm just saying.
So that's
he
my
just
story.
doesn't know, or what's?
Well, that's, yeah,
Smokey just doesn't know. Tear him down.
tear him down. Yeah.
And with that, we're off on some 4th of July fun facts. So the first one, we've got 15 here. I don't know if we'll go through all of them. Some of them we can probably cruise through. Others we really need to stop and
Chop with.
yeah, talk it up a little bit. We didn't actually declare independence on the 4th of July. One of the greatest misconceptions of the 4th of July lies in the name and date. It is widely believed that America declared their independence from Britain on July 4th in 1776. However, the official vote actually took place 2 days before, and the Declaration of Independence was published in papers on July 4th. So 2 days prior, they voted on it officially. So July 2nd.
I think it's time for full transparency here on the original Father-Son Voiceover podcast. We had some technical difficulties. Normally we film this. It's an old band's way of saying it. Is that film? Do we film this?
Sure.
Anyway.
We run the show usually.
Yeah, on Friday at late afternoon. But we're doing it on Saturday now because we had some technical difficulties. And isn't that amazing that we're actually doing it on the day that we declared our...
They voted.
I mean, that's
It is,
amazing.
yeah.
I think that's just
I think it's
the way
meant
it
to
was
be.
meant to be.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So this is July 2nd.
Yep.
How many
July
years ago
2nd.
was that? 1776. Can you do? You're good at math, Drew.
You're putting me on the spot now.
1776 to 2022.
24 years plus 22 years. So coming up on July 20 or July 4th,
Yeah.
it's going to be 246. 246.
Yeah, 22. Yep.
Yep.
So hey,
sounds right to me.
So here's another one of those things. I was 16 years old in 1976. Got it?
Wow, 200 years.
Yep. Was that the bicentennial? I think it was.
Yeah.
That was big. That was big.
Bet you that was.
And we didn't wear any. Well, you've got a red, white, and blue hat.
Yeah, my Rapala hat, and got my flag on my shirt.
Yeah. Really
Represent.
repping. Yeah. Anyway,
Very patriotic
it's
today.
really
The
we're
most.
celebrating the actual time
Today, right. Yep.
July 2nd.
Yep. Nobody else will be celebrating with us, but we'll be doing it today
Yeah.
when they
We're
vote.
true
When they
patriots.
voted on
True
it.
patriots.
True.
Number 2, the designer of the 50-star flag lived in Lancaster, Ohio. In 1958, a history teacher assigned a class assignment to redesign the national flag as both Alaska and Hawaii neared statehood. Robert G. Heft, who was 16 at the time, designed a new flag using the old 48-star flag and $2.87 worth of blue cloth and white iron-on material. His design earned him a B-, to which he challenged by sending it to Washington, D.C. for consideration by President Dwight D. Eisenhower. According to his obituary, Heft was one of thousands to submit a flag design, but he was the only person who actually stitched together a flag and shipped it to D.C. Once the flag was selected, Heft's grade was rightfully changed to an A. His design became the official flag in 1960. But I looked up the 48 state flag, and it was, I mean, he had it 2 stars.
That's what I was gonna say. It doesn't seem like that's real. No offense. Maybe that's why the teacher's like, "Yo, it's like almost plagiarism."
So
It's almost plagiarism.
there was a 13 colony flag, and
way
then
the
did they?
stars went in the circle.
What? How did they? Do we
They
know?
must have just started adding stars.
Okay, but what about flag makers there in like 19? Alaska became a state, our 49th state, and when did we find out?
I don't
Was
know
it
if that
40,
was
58 or 59? I
something
think,
like that.
and then Hawaii was like 60.
60, maybe.
Well, just think if you went to the store. We're really patriotic, trying to support the nation, and you buy a 48 star flag. The next year, it's obsolete.
It'd be kind of like buying a professional player's jersey who played for a team, and they trade him the next year, and it's like, well, I've got a jersey. He plays for the whatever team, and now he plays for some other team. It's like, now
if that
what am I
works,
supposed to do? Do I get my money back or what?
It's a good analogy.
It was a great analogy.
Yeah.
Thought
So
about
then
it
the
right
next year you have 49 star flag.
Yep.
And a year or two later, boom.
Just keep
You
adding
got to go back
stars.
to
Yeah.
Walmart. Well, there wasn't Walmarts back then, but you have to go down to the local department store and buy another flag. What do you do with the other flag?
I think you turn it in and you say, hey, I'd like a refund. You add an extra star on this flag.
That you just colored one on somehow.
Or you keep it for like
I don't know if that's
long,
Yeah.
time in
I wonder if it was
future.
sell
Maybe
it.
it'll be able to sell it on like Antiques Roadshow or something. Not
You
sell
could,
it, but get it
but
appraised or something.
What I'm wondering is conspiracy theory.
Okay.
I'm wondering if the flag maker lobbyists lobbied the United States to buy Alaska, the government, so they could make more money making flags, and then they did it the same with Hawaii a year or two later.
That's
Does
big conspiracy
that fly at
theory.
all? Does that fly in anybody's mind?
I'm right there
That
with
the
I'm a big
flag
conspiracy
makers,
theorist.
lobbyists were beating down the doors of senators and congressmen trying to
To
get
add more states.
Yep.
Yeah. I think I'll go with it. I believe it.
That's a theory I'm going to float out there for the original Father Son Voiceover
We'll let it
podcast.
hang
See if
out
any
there.
other conspiracy theorists jump on that.
Yeah.
Because I think that's something
You may
to
have
think
created a new genre of conspiracy
Yeah.
theory.
Number 3, Americans will enjoy 150 million hot dogs during the 4th, according to National Sausage and Hot Dog Council, NHDSH, or NHDSC, which I feel like, who needs a council for that?
How did
How do you come up with that?
Yeah, how did
Is
hot
Joey
dogs?
Chestnut the president of that? The guy who eats all those hot dogs?
Is that July 4th when they have the main hot dog eating
I have no idea.
contest
remember what
where you
day
try
it's
to
on.
stuff it?
Yeah, I can't remember.
That's even hard to watch, that thing, because they don't just eat it. They don't eat a hot dog like we eat it.
No,
they
they're
stuff
not
it in
enjoying
there
it.
and swallow it, and then they
water
soak
the
the
bread.
bread in water so that it slides down. And
Not a very pleasant thought.
no,
Nor
I think I'll
seen.
just eat mine regularly. Yeah. Maybe like 2 or 3 and call it good.
Yep, just enjoy it. This is part of an estimated 7 billion that are expected to be eaten during the summer season from Memorial Day to Labor Day.
Wow.
7 billion. As many people are on this planet, which it's a little more than that now, but
That's
7 billion
amazing.
hot dogs and brats. Is that what it is?
I think it's just hot dogs.
Just hot dogs.
It's a lot of dogs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Here is number 4. It's going to rattle your brain. Only 2 men signed the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, 1776. Charles Thompson and the infamous John Hancock were the only 2 men who actually signed the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, 1776. The other 54 delegates signed over the course of the next month.
Well, and
Interesting.
And here's the thing: is so Chuck Thompson. Take a look at his. I don't remember. I'm not a historian in this area, but I think John Hancock's is huge.
He started off. It's like when you've done a card, you don't know how many people are signing. Like you're in the office, you wouldn't know this.
Yeah.
But you're in the office and you're signing a get well or you're signing a birthday, and you're the first person that signs, you're like, well, you just hog half that side.
Yeah.
So now how the rest, then all of a sudden some of them get really tiny, or if somebody, it's like grievance card, like, hey, really sorry, thoughts and whatever. Somebody will get kind of wordy. And so it's like, well, I'll just sign my name then. Sorry about that.
Just put an arrow.
Yeah.
Me too.
Me
or
too.
that
Yeah, samey.
same here.
Samey on that one.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
why did John Hancock get to sign his so big?
I think he wanted people to know.
Did he just?
I'm serious
was
about
he-
this.
I wonder if that was it.
Yeah. Maybe he didn't know how many
First
other
come,
people were
first
gonna
come,
sign.
first serve. You get to do whatever
maybe
you
just
want
thought
right
I'm
away.
the only one signing, so
Yeah.
I better sign big.
Yeah.
Look, kick up a lot of dust.
Yeah.
This is could cost me my life.
Yeah. Yep. Somebody
I don't
came into his office and said, hey, you need to sign this as the Declaration of Independence. He said, okay. So he just signed his name and he didn't realize there were other people going to be signing.
How many signers were there total?
Sounds like 56 because there's 54 plus those
How many
2
can
men.
we name?
I can't.
Oh,
I
boy.
mean, Benjamin
Yeah.
Franklin,
Ben,
George
Thomas
Washington.
Jefferson.
Tom, Ben, Tom,
Adams
Chuck.
probably.
We got Chuck Thompson thrown in for free.
Johnny
It's a
Hancock.
freebie.
Adams,
George, yeah.
I would think. I don't know that for sure.
George Washington. I
John,
would think
did you
he
say
did.
John Adams?
Yeah.
Okay. Ben Franklin, obviously. Thomas Jefferson. Wow. What we get?
We
like
don't-
6?
Yeah, there's 50 out there. Probably more.
Yeah.
And I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know if Washington signed. I mean, I don't know who all. I mean, he was a general in the Revolutionary War. but then they wanted him to be the king, basically.
Was he the president? Yeah. Did they? When I wonder when they.
We're getting into very murky territory here.
Well, I'm just saying. I wonder when he became president officially. If he was president right when they signed that, if they had it already, or if like
they had to fight a war.
But they had already. Oh, you're right. You're right.
Does anybody? Does any? I mean, of course, some people know this, but does any just kind of normal Joes like us know? Could do you? Like, did you get taught that in school? Like
the signers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like a pretty important thing, honestly.
Yeah, they risked their lives and livelihood and families and property and.
Yeah, it was a pretty big deal, I would think. I mean,
yeah.
They were going to have to fight a war over it. Probably knew it too.
Yeah. All right.
So number 5, there is something written on the back of the Declaration of Independence. And no, it isn't a treasure map written in invisible ink. National treasure.
That's.
According to the History Channel, a simple message is written upside down across the bottom of the signed document that reads, Original Declaration of Independence dated 4th July, 1776. So, anyway, there you have it.
Nice.
Number 6, one signer later recanted the Declaration of Independence. Richard Stockton, not to be confused with the sports announcer Dick Stockton.
Yeah.
May have been a cousin or something, distant relative. He was a lawyer from New Jersey, became the only signer of the Declaration of Independence to recant his support of the revolution after being captured by the British in November 1776, thrown in jail. After years of abusive treatment and his recanting of loyalties, Stockton was released to find all his property destroyed or stolen by the British. His library, one of the finest in the colonies, was burned to the ground. So yeah, those people, they put their name on that.
Yep.
That was, you were going to get in.
Did he just recant it because he was being put in jail? Or...
I don't have that information.
What
I don't know
you're
much about
asking
Richard
is
Stockton.
did he recant
Just
kind
because,
of after, or did he recant
once he came back and was like
before, and they still kept him in and beat him up and treated him harshly and burnt things down and stuff? It's just hard to get. It's hard to wrap your brain around
those times.
It's just hard to wrap your brain around. It's hard to put yourself in their position. It's easy to sit here and say, Richard.
Come on now.
I never would have
never
done
done the same thing. Yeah, who knows? I wouldn't have survived back then.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, let's be honest.
I haven't been beaten up very many times, but I don't know if I'd take it very well.
Yeah, and let's be honest, they would not have invited us to the Congress. They wouldn't have done that.
No.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't have been part of that party anyway, so we wouldn't have had to do a whole lot of sacrificing, probably.
I don't think so. Yeah, we may have been asked to just be on a body shield on the front lines, basically.
Throw all the Barsuses on the front line.
Yeah.
That's what they're good for.
Number 7, the average age of the signers was 45 years old.
Wow.
Of the 56 signers, so again, telling us, dropping a little knowledge there on us, the youngest signers were Thomas Lynch Jr. and Edward Rutledge of South Carolina. They were only 26.
Wow.
However, Benjamin Franklin of Pennsylvania was the oldest signer at 70 years old.
Wow.
So that's why it increased the average age. But 26 years old, those guys.
That's me.
That's Hudson.
Scary.
Yep. Tom and Ed.
My John Hancock is not very good. So it wouldn't have looked good. I'm sure those guys were really good at cursive back in the day. Mine would have been the worst signature on there easily.
Yeah.
Could have been the biggest.
I'm just letting you know.
You could have had yours be the largest, and then people would have been like, wow, it's taking up a lot of space.
That guy must have been important.
Even when I'm 62 years old, so I'm close to the oldest guy, I still think of them as being old men.
Yeah.
Because you learned about them, and you look at them and you say, boy, those are all old guys. But here's a couple of guys in their mid-20s, and the rest of them probably in their
30s, 40s.
What did you say, 45 was the
average age. So you probably had guys in their 30s and guys in their 40s, and then you had guys in their 50s and 60s, and then you had Ben at 70.
Yep, guys with families, wives and families, and
Yep.
farms and businesses and stuff.
Yep.
What are we doing there?
We're really
10 minutes
We're
left.
really. These are fun facts, interesting, historical. We're really. I feel like we're really feeling the history as this is. I mean, we're very solemn, and that's a good. I think that's a good direction for the 4th of July. Not that we can't have some fun, but
Reflection. It's time for
this is
reflection.
reflection.
Yeah.
Do you have any there that you see
are more interesting?
that are really that are just that you think would be wow? Two or more of these would be great because then you said you have some other things, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Just so you know,
Just so I
turn
know.
that way. Turn that way again. I can see your mustache a lot better
From
at
the
this
side,
angle
I
than
know.
on the front.
Yeah. So for baseball, we usually around the 4th of July we do like a facial hair thing, like a mustache or mostly a mustache. And I have trouble growing a mustache. It's not terrible, but it's really blonde compared to like this stuff is darker. So I decided to go with mustache, and I have some kind of dirty sideburns just because not many people can see my mustache. So that's the story behind that. So you probably can't see my mustache, but
I
my
can barely
sideburn-
see it, especially like when we're out in the sunlight. When you're looking face on, you can hardly
From the
you
side,
hardly know,
it's-
but from the
it's-
s's it's bushy.
There's decent coverage.
Yeah,
But
it's
it's just so blonde. It really is. Anyway,
I didn't even know you have an upper lip when I'm looking from this.
it's just
Sorry.
Do you have any smaller, more interesting stories that you mind sharing?
Hey, that's his fault. He brought that up.
Shorter, more interesting.
We're
story.
We're short on
news-centered,
time.
that aren't news-centered.
Yeah, we're short on time.
I
here.
am the
Let's-
one that brought it up.
Yeah.
So
Can't handle teasing.
A much smaller start. Here we go. We're at 12 already.
Oh wow.
Although an official national census was not completed until 1790, the U.S. Census Bureau estimates that there were only about 2.5 million people living in America in 1776.
what's there, 310 or
As of
30 or
2017, it has grown to become a home to 325.7 million.
Wow.
So
tiny, and most of them were all scrunched into the
13
Northeast and
colonies.
the.
I bet you it was spacious, though. 2.5 million.
Yeah.
I bet you felt like you had land galore,
Yeah.
land to spare. All right, bizarre 50th anniversary. Thomas Jefferson, 82. I knew this fact. Thomas Jefferson, 82, and John Adams, 90. Both died on July 4th, 1826.
Wow.
Within 5 hours of each other on the 50th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. So I remember that. I remember
That's
I
interesting.
knew that, and I thought one of them said something about the other guy just before he died.
I just outlasted him or something like
yeah,
that.
or what about Thomas Jefferson or something they said.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were
That's
competitive.
we won't put that in quotes. I don't think
Yeah,
that's a
no.
verbatim, but
Yeah, I don't
What a
know if they
day.
were competitive or he cared about him. Here's the other thing is you have a tendency to think that those guys all got along. I don't think they did so. I don't think they did. I mean, they were their own men and they had thoughts and beliefs and they came together on, I guess, maybe
Freedom.
what the most important thing is, but I think if you read the backstory on some of them, they kind of fought with one another.
I'm pretty sure it was Thomas Jefferson that wanted a revolution like every 50 years
Less than that. I thought every 10.
to overthrow the
Yep.
government because he didn't want the government getting big. He
Right.
didn't want them talk about somebody serious about.
On fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he went over to France and helped them
With
with their revolution.
He just couldn't get enough of it.
You just can't get enough of this revolution.
Who's not free? You're not free?
I'm
coming over there.
Tom's on a
Oh,
ship.
no. Let's everybody shape up.
You-
He would turn around, though, sometimes. It's like when Dad would come home from work. Uh-oh. Dad's coming home. Okay, shape up.
Shape up.
No. Okay.
Thanks, Dad.
All right, 15. A little late to the parade. July 4th was not deemed a federal holiday until 1870, nearly 100 years after the nation was founded. Again, the government's not real quick to these things. They're like, well, that's pretty important, but let's wait for 100 years and make sure that it was truly that we're going to stick around.
Maybe they were fighting over whether it should be July 2nd or July 4th. Maybe that was the big fight.
Yeah, they had to wait for some of these guys to die to, then enact it because they're like, wow, these guys won't give up on
We're
the
not going to get
second.
an inch on these
The
guys.
4th of July just sounds better. The 2nd of July, let's not do that, guys. And they wouldn't give up.
So I wonder when the last person that signed the Declaration of Independence died.
I don't know. I
You
don't
know what I
have
mean?
that. I should have gotten
1776, around that. But then you said that they added signatures for how long after?
A
Do you
month,
remember
you
that?
said?
I think
Months
a couple
afterwards?
months after,
But
yeah.
all within maybe the same year. So 1776. Some of those guys were 26, so they were born in 1750. So there could have been people living into the early to mid 1850s.
I would have wanted to have been like one of the guys. So like, you know, the fighting maybe was going on, and it's like you're just kind of trying to see how it's going, and then you see that you're about to win. I'd say, can I get that independence? I'd like to
Who's got a
throw my
pen?
name. I got to throw my name on that real
I've
quick.
always
Then you're always listed
Always been
there.
on this side.
And you say,
America,
well,
I've
you know,
always
I was
supported
one of
America.
the first that
Yep.
signed. I was one of the first that signed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of knew that we were needing to have this independence. You know, John put his name up there big, but he was last. John was last.
Yeah.
Just so everybody's
Filling the
clear.
space.
That's true. Maybe there's just a really big space left. And
Yeah,
he
we
doesn't-
all tried to save some space for other people, but John had to throw his name on there big.
John was always like that.
What did John do
Hancock.
even?
Yeah. Even though
And
he was
he
like
even
the,
got a-
he was like the first. He put his name on there
Got
first, big.
an adage after him. Put your John Hancock
Yeah.
on this.
Yeah.
Make
Yeah.
it big.
Yep.
Make everybody know that you're signing this thing.
Loud and proud. All right. So here is some July 1st, this day in history, and 1863 Battle of Gettysburg.
What
General Lee's
began?
northward advance was halted in Gettysburg.
So that was just a part of it, or what's the specific
Start, end, middle.
start, or what
What
what's
you
the
know?
1863.
significance
I think it was over in 1865.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
61 it started. So
of
that's
it?
kind of like the halfway
so
point.
I see the it's like a halftime.
Yeah. This is for Dad. 1967, the Beatles album, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. It goes #1 in the United States,
Yeah.
where it would stay for 15 weeks. And Dad was, yeah, that's what it says.
I was down at the Mazomanie V store at 7 years old buying my Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band single 45 and then flipping it over to the B-side. I wonder what the B-side was.
Nobody knows. Nobody cares.
Do you remember that at all? Do you remember the 45s, the records? And there would be a really good song. And then the other side was like, what a waste.
I don't remember
Flip
that.
the
That's why they call it
B-side. They
the
called it the
B-side.
B-side.
It was no good.
Didn't CDs have two sides at one point?
Maybe I don't.
I thought
remember that.
I thought they maybe did.
We'll go with it.
Okay. In 1908, SOS ... Dash That's what it is in Morse code.
Morse code, yeah.
Distress signal becomes the worldwide standard for help. 1908,
On July 4th.
July 1st.
July
Remember where this day?
Oh,
this day in
Because
history.
of our
Oh, yeah,
technical
yeah, yeah.
difficulty,
Okay, July
it was
1st.
supposed to be Friday, but
Yep.
SOS.
In 1916, the first of 4 fatal Jersey Shore shark attacks. It's kind of hard to say altogether. Jersey Shore shark attacks occurred, challenging previous scientific belief that sharks never hurt humans. That's why you can't trust science.
What year was this?
Well, I mean, the sharks. Like, how long have sharks been around? They're like, no, don't worry about
Yeah,
it, guys. They're not going to
they've
kill
got
anybody.
massive
and they have
teeth.
like
They're
a history
super
of
huge.
It's like, like who's
What-
the
what
scientific
year was that?
belief? 1916.
1916.
And then this sparked a popular fear over sharks, which persists today.
Yeah,
like
I get it.
You know, like they were probably people in Hawaii, like, yeah, the sharks are bad. Like you didn't need a scientist to tell you that.
yeah.
But what
Alfredo
year was that?
came back without an arm.
1918.
So, but
Alfredo
people in
is
Hawaii.
probably not a Hawaiian name, but
I was gonna say, and
Maybe he was
Hawaii wasn't a
vacationing.
state either
he was
yet.
vacationing.
He was vacationing
From Mexico.
From Mexico.
But other than that, I think the facts, what you said, that example was great.
no, I'm saying that there are people in Hawaii. I mean, listen, you don't have to be a part of the American community to be a part
was
of
it
the
called
scientific
Hawaii
community.
before?
I don't know.
Hey, but whenever Jaws came out,
Yeah.
it was one of the movies that I saw. My brother and I went to the theater in Madison. And
You saw that in theaters?
Yep.
I bet
And
you
it
that
was scary, and I didn't want to go swimming. I even checked the swimming pool sometimes for sharks.
You can never be too
Just
careful.
Scary.
And then the shark inflatables. That would have been scary for you too if you would have had one of those.
We knew they were dangerous.
But anyway, it just seems like a strange thing. Like I mean, that challenge that did in 1916. You know how many years of history there were
Sharks.
prior to that? Sharks weren't
people
like
just
what?
disappeared all the time from shark.
Yeah,
But that said, it's not, when there's a shark attack, it's always this huge deal. But it's
True.
It's like I don't know.
So random. Yeah, it
it's
doesn't
rare.
happen very
and
often.
It's
It's
rare,
very, very
yeah.
rare. All right, we got some famous birthdays here as well.
Oh,
Princess Diana was born in 1961 on July 1st.
1 year after you.
Yep.
Yep. A year and
Couple of months.
a couple months.
Almost.
Actor Dan Aykroyd,
Oh, yeah. I saw
He's-
this.
70
Yeah.
yesterday. He was 70.
Yeah. From
I
the
believe
original SNL.
SNL, yeah. Blues Brothers,
Saturday
too.
Night Live.
He's all the Blues Brothers,
Yeah.
too. And then Carl Lewis, sprinter, I think, right? Or runner.
Yeah, a lot of things
Yeah,
like
lots of things.
hurdler, and he just did.
Did it all.
Yeah.
61 yesterday.
When he was in the Olympics multiple times, like he did the Olympics a lot. Wow. You know, I mean, he wore such short shorts. But I mean, you look at some of those guys and you say, boy, I'd wear shorts like that if I
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand what you're
they're
doing.
just
Like that.
unbelievable.
I
you
I
did.
see what you're
Yeah.
You
see
wore
what's
shorts like
happening
that back in high school
Well,
when
true.
you played basketball.
Yeah.
there. But that was more
Yeah.
of a style than really showing off your legs. I was certainly showing
It was showing off your
yeah.
legs. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, it was obscene, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, that was just a style thing. Nobody knew it. I mean, nobody knew any difference.
Well, and they've come back.
then.
I mean, there's people that run around the neighborhood that have very short shorts. But that's now the style. You don't want your legs to be encumbered. You know, they want to, let those babies free. Maybe that's why I don't run very fast. Maybe I need to get really high shorts. I can run a little
don't.
faster.
But the elastic bands on there that were way up here,
Mm-hmm.
they were tight. It's not like those encumbered. But like I said, basketball, the white socks, we would wear white socks up to here,
Mm-hmm.
and then your shorts were way up here. So the same amount of leg was basically showing.
But
if
the
you
worst
had,
part.
yeah, right. But if you had the opposite, where you had tiny little socks like in the 90s and 2000s and stuff, now they're going back to some more shorty shorts, right?
Seems like it.
Yeah, some guys like
Yeah,
that.
it's back in.
I don't, but
Even some of the high school kids kind of roll
Roll
up
up
their
the shorts,
the bands of their shorts so that they
Yep.
can hike up their shorts a bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Lots of styles come and go.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Some that you didn't probably think were going to be back, like short shorts. Like,
there's one style though that probably won't ever make its way back. Is back when these dudes, the guys for the
Blonde mustache, that won't.
that probably won't. Yeah, that won't
Let's hope not.
gain traction. But those white curly wigs that they used to wear. Remember?
Oh,
I mean,
back
the
to like
declaration, the signers of the declaration.
That's what I'm saying. It's like that.
hey,
I can't
get out of
imagine
the United States.
Yeah,
They're
I was
still
gonna say
doing
they
it in
still do it in
Parliament. They're
Parliament,
still
yeah.
doing it in court.
Yeah, no
In
problem.
Australia, they're doing it in courts. So,
I was saying here.
oh, here.
Sorry.
Okay, got it.
I just don't think that's something we'll probably go back to. Somebody's not gonna say, "Yeah, that looked really good. Let me put a
Some
real
white
curly
wig.
wig on
Yeah.
again." Anyway, I think I'm safe to say that.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Watch, yeah.
All right, a famous death on this date, which was yesterday. Charles Goodyear. That's why I thought I would do it.
yeah.
This
Throwback
all was-
to BJ.
It was important to do that with BJ and William being here. He died on this date back in 1860. He was 59 years old.
So he died before the Civil War.
He did.
That's-
Yep, just before.
Didn't even see it.
Nope.
That was a good year.
There you have it. A bad joke, good year.
Yeah,
He was
it
a-
was a layup.
He was a chemist and inventor coming up with a process to vulcanize. I had to look that up. I had no idea what vulcanize. I thought maybe it was like the Vulcan death grip or something like that. Spock.
They call
oh, yeah.
they call hockey pucks vulcanized rubber.
Yeah. Well, here's why.
Okay, thank you.
It's rubber that has been hardened through the use of heat and sulfur. So,
They smell
Stinky.
bad.
yeah, don't want to sniff that too hard. He did that in 1839 and died 21 years later. He discovered this process accidentally after 5 years of searching for a more stable rubber and stumbling upon the effectiveness of heating. For 5 years, he stuck with that.
And if he was practicing with sulfur, think about what he was
Terrible.
just stuck in his nostrils.
Nobody
every
probably
day,
wanted to spend time
all
with
around him. Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes.
That might have been why.
Was his
he
name Thomas
died.
Goodyear?
All that
Yeah.
Sulfur
stuff in your
intake.
lungs and stuff.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Let's just Yeah, we have no clue, but that would make sense.
It
I
might
would
be.
not want to be around much
Does
longer.
it say
if
what
I
he
had
passed
snow,
away
right?
from?
They just say
No, it didn't.
consumption. Isn't that the thing that they
That was a big thing back not then, but years even before that
it
too.
died of consumption?
It's like he had no idea really what it was, but it's drinking heavily or whatever. So that was part of it as well. But it's like liver failure and all sorts
Cancer
of other
probably
things
that they didn't
but-
know about. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, there's that. And here's a couple fun holidays for July 1st again, because obviously 4th of July is a fun holiday all into itself. Canada Day was yesterday. That's when they declared independence. It's it's kind of like, all right, Canada.
Stop
why
trying
don't
to
you
one
get
up
your
us.
own
Yeah.
month?
What year?
Come on.
Don't
Well,
know.
They're always copycatting us.
I wonder if Thomas Jefferson
Get your
went and
own
helped
stuff.
them out too.
Huh?
I wonder if Thomas Jefferson went and helped them out too, get their independence, or if that was later, like you said.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
But anyway, yeah, I mean Canada Day. So I didn't celebrate it,
No.
which makes sense because I'm not. But I'm sure they may
Canada Day.
have. So then there's also Resolution Renewal Day. So
Oh,
New
like
Year's
midway through
resolution.
the
Yeah,
year.
it's a halfway point.
This
To
is
check on yourself.
today. I think is the 182nd day. It's halfway exactly.
Today is
Today is July 2nd.
okay. Yeah,
So
it's a
yesterday
good time to
was-
reflect on those resolutions.
Yeah.
See how those are going or
We
not.
made
going.
it halfway through 2022.
Did you guys make any
No,
resolution?
no.
I made a resolution to not make any resolutions.
It's just
I don't.
that's been said 10,000 times.
Yeah.
That statement.
Seriously?
And he smiles as if it's the first time.
He thought
He coined it.
He
No,
thought
I
he
didn't
made
think
that
I
up.
coined it. I just didn't know it was a big thing that people said that. I just figured lots of people do resolutions and I just don't. So I was making a joke.
In his
Even
mind,
though it's not funny,
in
I
his
was making
mind,
a joke.
he made that up. There's
And he laughed.
probably other things we'll find out. The original father-son voiceover podcast that Hudson thinks that he created. Out of,
I created this.
yep. Good point.
All right. We also have Postal Worker Day. It celebrates and recognizes postal workers and the hard work they put in or don't to ensure your mail and deliveries get to you smoothly and on time. I don't know about
It's
that. They
still
feel
a-
like postal workers, no offense, but come on.
Well, maybe the ones
you
that
get
walk
so many-
around.
Huh?
Maybe the ones that walk around. The ones that drive in the car. I don't feel so bad about them.
Yeah, how about they have like 2-hour lunches and
It's still amazing to me, though.
The mail system.
It's still amazing to me that you can put a whatever stamp. What is the stamp now? First class stamp. I don't even know.
how much does it cost?
Mom does it.
10 cents? Is it
Mom,
more than
mom
that?
buys
No,
them.
way more than that.
And most people don't do stamps or mail anymore, but
No.
we do still because we're old. But we still send some letters, and it's still amazing to me that like mom's parents live in Michigan. You can put it on, and almost for sure, 2 to 3 days later, boom, they get
have
the
it.
letter.
They have it.
Yep, they get it.
Yeah. On a separate note regarding old people, Damon and I were going shopping in Sauk in the Piggly Wiggly, and there's some things that just kind of make you laugh. And one of them is, I've seen this before, not the same person, but it's an older person. The parking lot is jam packed. Lots and lots of vehicles. They're probably getting stuff for the holiday weekend. And this older guy, 20 years ago, no problem, I'm sure, would have been no issue. But he's kind of driven his vehicle. It's got the last little parking spot on the edge there. And he's got the bright idea that he's going to back into that area. And, he starts kind of backing up and he's kind of all over the place and he tries it again, comes on back out. And then he just kind of gives up. And he's not really even close to the parking spot, but that's where he's going to be parked. And it's just, you'd like to say, hey, maybe just find one that's easier to get in and just get in there. There's no reason to take up a weird amount of space there in the parking lot.
How old was he, you think?
I think he had to have been 65, 70.
Oh, I thought you said old.
70-ish.
Did you follow him in? Did he eat in the aisles.
Yeah, did he
in the
grab
food.
something off the shelf and start eating before he paid for
Well,
it?
you've got to explain that quickly now, Jonathan.
You
'cause
did it.
people,
Dad does that.
Yeah.
He likes going into Walmarts.
He was
I
at
pay
Walmart.
for it.
He was
I
at
understand.
Walmart.
After the fact.
He was at Walmart, and I came up to his cart, and I said, "Oh no, Dad, somebody's taken a bite," because I didn't think he noticed it. It was one of those reduced, like they had been there for just a little bit, and I thought somebody took a bite out of it and then put it back. Well, he gets a smirk on his face. It was him. It's like you haven't even paid for it yet. It's like something a little like when I was a kid, Mom would let me do that. Open up a bag of chips, and I get to eat some of them.
Well, when you're older, you revert back to your
I
childhood.
guess so. Yeah.
well, the thing is that guy, he's been driving for
Right.
50 years.
Longer than I've been alive.
Yep. And so he's done that many, many, many times.
Right.
And it's hard as an older person, whether it's climbing up on your roof or playing sports or different things like that. It's hard to, you still think you're young.
Yeah.
And so you have a tendency to do stuff like that.
It's kind of just makes you smile and laugh kind of because it's like, he just kind of like, all right, well, I guess I can't do that. And he's hanging outside of the parking spot.
Maybe he made a decision that day. I can't do that anymore. He learned something. You watched it in.
Yeah.
But the thing
That
is,
was his New Year's resolution.
His
And on that
re-resolution,
day,
yeah.
He just gave up.
he just gave it up.
halfway through the year.
So here on our podcast today, Drew went after postal workers
Yep.
Yep.
and older people.
The government
And Canada.
and science
And the government and Canada. Drew went after a whole bunch of people
Yeah.
today.
Hey, you're on notice. Let's just say
Look
that.
out. Drew's
Old
coming
people,
for you.
postal workers.
Hopefully,
Canada,
the postal service
and-
workers don't follow us around with
and
work.
We're not going to get
Richard
our
Stockton. He went after.
yeah, and John Hancock.
I think we collectively went after the traitor, Richard Stockton.
Yeah.
Oh man,
So this is the end of our 14th.
this is the end of
episode.
our 14th
and
episode.
people are going to be, I know what's going to happen. People are going to say, what do I watch first? Do I watch Todd's Tips? Because that's so intriguing. Or do I get to BJ and William?
That
'Cause
was very
a
good, yeah.
top notch.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that was riveting. That, I mean, I didn't want that to stop. And they didn't either. They wanted to sit here and sit here. And then you've got the taste testing. The taste testing for the Coke products. That was way up
that was
there. And then,
top-notch as
and then
well.
you've got this. It's just, what do you watch first? It's like Christmas. What do you open first?
Yeah.
Which
That's a good
gift?
question. Where do you start?
Where do you start?
It's a huge, huge meal. You got a huge plate full of food. All of it's tasty.
Yep.
And you're thinking, where do I dive in?
So, folks, I'm talking to you. We're going to leave that up to you.
Yep.
Whichever one of those things.
Up to your discretion.
Just jump in and just enjoy. Just jump in.
That's the freedom America
indulge.
gives you.
Just
Freedom- there
indulge
you
this
go.
weekend.
It's the freedom America gives
Yep,
you to
that's
watch
what we're
whatever
doing.
you
That's
want to
our
watch.
message to you. Exactly,
Just
John.
indulge.
That's perfect.
That was nice, John.
This is
You
our
have
gift to you of
independence.
freedom, and you have independence.
You
to
have
choose
freedom to
whatever.
exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that'll do it for 14, episode 14. Thanks, guys, for
Yeah.
taking the stand up there and
Yeah, the couch potatoes.
Reverse.
Anyway.
Yep.
yeah, it was nice. We had some.
I
we had some
can't
freedom.
get back on the couch.
I know. Me neither.
They said, listen, you need to
This is
be
your first
front
time
and
up here,
center.
John.
Yep.
You need to be front and center. And I said, I understand. I get it.
You know what,
I
Drew?
know I'm the entertainment.
This is your
Don't
show.
put me on the
basically.
side.
Yeah, that's what happens.
This
to
is
shows.
hijacked.
They morph into different
It's
things.
the
and
brother podcast.
It was
now.
our podcast, kind of, and now it's basically
Take it
yours.
over.
It's
Now they're
Drew's.
just pushing us off to the
The
side
Drew
like that old
Barsness
guy.
show.
Yeah.
It's a podcast within a podcast. Is what it is.
I can sense people. Nobody said anything, but I can sense people said, "Give me more of that guy.
Yeah.
Like get him get him off the couch, get him front and center.
You should test that. Start your own podcast, the
There
Drew
you go.
Barsness podcast.
Yeah.
And have guests and stuff like that.
Pose questions to myself.
Yeah.
Answer them.
Go after people,
Go-
postal workers.
Tell people what I don't
Dick
like
Stockton.
about. Yeah. Yep.
An attack.
Okay, I'll stop.
All
That's-
right.
Thanks, guys. Well, thanks again for joining us for the 14th episode of the original Father-Son Voiceover podcast. And enjoy your 4th of July weekend and your hot dogs, because I'm sure some of you will be having some. So that's it from us.